I want to talk about bullying and predators and the effect they have on tinnitus. I've worked with many people over the years with tinnitus who come along for a cranial session and their nervous system drops right down and the tinnitus backs off, only to come back a couple of weeks later and it's right up again. And what emerges is that they live with bullies or predators or tyrants that mean that they have to spend their lives at home walking on eggshells because they are literally afraid that the people that they live with may have an explosion or get very angry, and they end up obeying people at work or at home because if they say no, this could cause a massive tantrum or outburst of anger. This is an incredibly stressful situation, which means that our sense of hearing constantly is listening out for danger, and we get stuck in a state of fight or flight or overwhelm, which is perfect for keeping the tinnitus going. So for people with tinnitus, if you live with bullies or you live with predators or you work with people who impose their views upon you and get you to do things that you don't want to or overstep the mark, thus becoming abusive, if you say no to somebody and they overstep the mark and they keep on coming, that is actually abuse. This is really, really not very helpful for your tinnitus at all, because your nervous system's naturally going to be stuck in a state of hyperarousal, hypervigilance, and this hypervigilance, listening out for danger, will cause your hearing to be so sensitive that not only will you hear the external noise coming in, but you'll start detecting the impulses of your central nervous system as well. That's what tinnitus is. It's hearing your own system far too acutely. So for people with tinnitus, it's really, really important to learn to say no. Stop. I don't want to. Give me some time to think about this. This is not okay with me. This may cause a lot of squeaking, a lot of tantrums in the other person, but actually, if you're going to be working with yourself, looking after yourself and being okay in yourself, you're going to need to learn to say no. With our eyes, if we don't like something we're looking at, we can immediately close our eyelids or look away, or if it's extremely bad, we can walk away. Our hearing is permanently switched on and exposed. It's a very, very primitive safety mechanism. In order to feel safe, we need to be constantly monitoring the background and knowing that everything's okay. So babies crying, wind in the trees, people talking next door. This gives us all a sense of safety and security. But if this sense of safety is constantly threatened because of people at work or at home, then our hearing is going to be really on tenterhooks. And so, like the gazelle in Africa, along comes the lion, and it suddenly floods with adrenaline and takes flight. It's not going to fight the lion for obvious reasons, so it floods with adrenaline and goes into survival mode. When we're in that state, this makes our hearing hyper acute. So it's so important with tinnitus, if you want to really help create the conditions for your tinnitus to back off, is to get support from your friends, get support from your colleagues, and if it's really serious, get support from numerous charity organizations that are designed to help people who have become victims of abuse or bullying. And in the workplace, maybe get human resources to help you so that you can actually then feel strong enough to stand up and say no, stop to the bully or the predator, because invariably this will trigger a large tantrum. But it's really, really important for you to get a sense of safety with this. Psychotherapy can be a really helpful way of building up your resources and strengths so that you can then gently and firmly confront the inappropriate behaviour that may be keeping you stuck in a stressful situation. I've worked with clients who have done really well and their adrenaline levels have come down, but they're still having nightmares or feeling anxious about certain relationships in their past. And it's hugely important to be able to help process your emotions that may be locked away behind the scenes, and to be able to speak your mind and to express any anger or resentment that may have built up inside. So learning to express this safely in a calm, clear way can really help discharge all the stress hormones in the nervous system and settle. So I just wanted to highlight how important these fundamental human relationships are, and when we need to, when I say establish a sense of safety, I really mean feeling safe at home and at work, so you can feel like you can settle, rest in peace, with a sense of support, being able to speak your mind, and being able to be respected. This is hugely helpful for letting go of tinnitus.